Yeah, hi people, mine away from Baker again as always and as usual. I'm just quickly going to show you the natal chart of someone that died under horrific circumstances. A guy by the name of Mr. Marat. Now, Mr. Marat was a worker in Russia. Long story short, that got caught in a horrible accident at work. You can find the link to the video in the description of this video, but be warned in advance that it is very graphic. It's one of those videos where you can see what happens if someone gets stuck in a machine that's essentially the equivalent of a wood chipper. So yeah, you have been warned. Anyways, I'm simply for people that do have the stomach to watch that video, I'm simply going to show you astrologically. This is, in a manner of speaking, the planetary constellation under which the unfortunate individual, in a manner of speaking, was born under, and I'm simply going to point out, generally speaking, what someone like that, what it looks like, okay, in terms of the constellation they were born under. Now, in the eighth house that deals with death, you see that you've got Uranus here in Taurus. Uranus here also immediately indicates that death is likely to be sudden. And Uranus doesn't function well in Taurus in natal charts, so yeah, that already does not bode well. It also, generally speaking, stands for working with machinery. In this specific case, it would if Uranus was in a different sign, an air sign like Gemini, for example, or something, it might have stood for technology. But in this case, it stands for like heavy duty machinery and or just overall straightforward flat surface machinery. Uranus is negatively aspected Mars, and Mars is in Virgo. Again, it further lends to the whole notion of death by accidents and sudden. It stands for a grim or brutal death, even, and that is one that is likely to occur at work. That's why Mars is in Virgo. Virgo stands for work in this context, and Mars, I already told you what Mars stands for. And you also have a negative aspect to, well, not literally negative, but an aspect to Saturn. The aspect is negative, despite the fact that at surface level it might seem positive because Saturn is also heavily afflicted. Saturn is in Aries, so that also does not bode well. It stands for, again, a violent and grim death. So the supports with Mars and Uranus are already saying. Um, and last but not least, you can also see that the sixth house, the house that deals with work, not only is it closely aspected to Saturn and Neptune in the same zodiac sign, so in Aries, but the house itself is ruled by Aries, which does not bode well. Someone like that in general, especially a guy or a man, it stands for working under dangerous conditions and circumstances and or doing work that is of such a nature. And that's all, guys. Enjoy, so to speak.